Silence. A city sleeps, but its stories never stop. New York, the land of dreams, of light, of noise, of movement. A city built by immigrants, workers, artists, rebels, believers, and sometimes by the unlikely. And in the middle of this giant machine, a name began echoing, a name almost no one expected to hear among the power brokers of America's largest city. Zohran Kwame Mamdani. He was not born here. The story begins on October 18, 1991, far away from the towering skyscrapers and subway rumble in Kampala, Uganda. A child born into history, culture, and global identity. His father, Mahmoud Mamdani, a renowned scholar of sociology and African studies, someone who questioned systems, power, and inequality. His mother, Mira Nair, a globally celebrated filmmaker who captured the human condition through cinema and storytelling. Their home wasn't just a house, it was a universe of books, ideas, conversations, and introspection. Zohran spent his earliest years surrounded by African air, the rhythm of Kampala, the diversity, the history. But fate would soon redirect his path. When he was 7 years old, his family moved to the United States. A new world, a new identity, a new beginning. Growing up in New York City, he entered the public school system, a melting pot of languages, dreams, and struggles. Here, he learned something no book could teach: what inequality feels like. He witnessed families crushed under rent increases, workers struggling despite working multiple jobs, immigrants afraid of the very government meant to protect them. These experiences shaped him, not through speeches, but through memories. Years later, Zohran attended Bowdoin College in Maine, where he studied Africana studies, not as theory, but as lived reality. Colonial history, race, power, justice. These were not just subjects, they were pieces of his life. He became a thinker, an advocate, someone who saw the world not as it was, but as it could be. After graduation, he returned to New York, not to chase wealth or power, but to work with communities forgotten by both. He became involved in housing justice campaigns, immigrant advocacy, and grassroots organizing. Door to door, community center to community center, protest to protest, he listened. He learned that in New York, millions live on the edge of uncertainty, between eviction and survival. Through these struggles grew a calling: politics. Not the politics of politeness, not the politics of self-interest, but the politics of people. In 2020, he ran for New York State Assembly. The odds? Low. The resources? Limited. The name recognition? Almost none. But something extraordinary happened. People, working families, immigrants, renters, bus riders, teenagers, the overlooked, the unheard, stood with him. His campaign wasn't powered by lobbyists or wealthy donors. It was powered by volunteers, hope, and necessity. And against expectations, he won. Zohran Mamdani became a state assembly member, representing parts of Queens. In office, he fought for affordable housing, rent control, public transit investment, immigrant rights, economic fairness. He spoke not with political caution, but with clarity, with conviction. Some called him too bold. Others called him the future. Either way, he was no longer invisible. Then came October 2024. He announced a decision that would shock the city. He was running for mayor of New York City. Analysts doubted him. Commentators underestimated him. Opponents dismissed him. But once again, communities rallied. The campaign grew from a local movement into something larger. A belief that even the biggest city in America could choose equity over inequality, fairness over fear. In June 2025, he won the Democratic primary, a moment that made headlines across the world. And then, November 2025, Election Day. Votes counted. Screens updated. The city held its breath. When the final numbers appeared, the impossible became real. Zohran Kwame Mamdani was elected mayor of New York City, the first Muslim mayor, the first South Asian heritage mayor, the first mayor born in Africa, and one of the youngest mayors the city had ever seen. It was more than a victory, it was a statement. A city built by immigrants, finally led by one. But winning was only the beginning. Now, responsibility rests heavy. A city of 9 million people, a budget larger than most countries, public services under pressure, a housing crisis, transit struggles, tension, expectations. Some feared inexperience, some doubted capability, some questioned his ideas, but others, millions, believed in a New York where rent doesn't crush dreams, a New York where public transit is a right, not a burden, a New York where the working class is not abandoned. ***. Zohran's vision is clear. A city that belongs not to developers but to the people. A city where basic needs are not luxuries. A city where diversity is not just a slogan, but a guarantee of dignity. He imagines public grocery stores, so no family must choose between food and rent. He imagines affordable transit because movement should not be a privilege. He imagines housing as a right, not a financial weapon. History will decide whether he succeeds or fails. But one thing is undeniable. His journey from Kampala to Queens to City Hall has already changed what is possible. In the end, his story is not about power, but about purpose. Not about where someone comes from, but who they choose to fight for. And in a city that never sleeps, his leadership begins with a promise that every voice matters, every life deserves dignity, and every dream has a place, even in the world's hardest city. Zohran Kwame Mamdani, Mayor of New York City, a child of multiple identities, raised between nations, built by struggle, now standing at the helm of one of the greatest cities on earth. A reminder that change does not arrive quietly. It arrives when ordinary people decide they deserve more.